Well, friends, seeing as how we've had a couple snow days, I thought it might be a good idea to kind of refresh our memories a little bit about what we were doing before this long weekend. And the topic, for practical purposes, I like to call it cellular energetics, and that is how cells get energy and use energy. And really, what it comes down to are two processes, both you've heard of: photosynthesis and cellular respiration. And we're going to deal here primarily with cellular respiration. In cellular respiration, we've defined it a few times, you've read about it for homework, we've talked about it, is the process by which we break down our food to release energy so the cell can use it. And you should have this definition in your notes at some point. In fact, you probably wrote it down already. Now, when we use the term aerobic or hear the word aerobic, most people think of aerobic exercises and jumping around, getting fit. And the whole point of aerobic exercises is to be more efficient at getting oxygen transported around your blood respiratory system, so you can get your lungs work better, getting oxygen to your blood and to your muscles, and you just do better as an athlete. And so when we talk about aerobic cellular respiration, it's basically breaking down food in the presence of oxygen. It's kind of like when you burn wood or paper. In order for it to burn, you need oxygen. In order for us to break down our food, quote unquote, burn our food, we also need oxygen, which is the whole point of breathing, is to take in air, which hopefully has oxygen in it, and it gets transported to our cells, which carries out this process of respiration. And we've seen the formula before many times, and of course what it is breaking down our food. And we use C6H12O6, and that certainly is glucose or a simple sugar, but it could actually be any kind of nutrient that we break down. We can break down fats for energy, we can break down proteins for energy also. But this is the standard issue formula we'll be using. And again, it's oxygen plus glucose, and the waste products are water, carbon dioxide, and of course the whole point of this, which is to get energy. Now we can't, and what does that mean, energy? Well, there's different types of energy: kinetic potential, electrical, etc., heat energy. But the only form of energy that our cells can use is something called ATP. And you've read about that also. We've talked about it in class also. And ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. All I'd like you guys to remember is it's just ATP. And it's made up of this adenine ribose, this complex here, and then 3, 1, 2, 3, as in triphosphates. And I've suggested before that it's very similar to a battery that gets charged up, and then you use it for that battery to carry out your phones, your toys, etc. And then it runs down, you charge it back up again. That's what ATP is all about. And the way ATP works here is that one of those phosphate groups pops off, and when it does get removed, it releases energy. And then it's that energy that's then used for the cells to do whatever they do, whether it's a muscle contracting, whether it's a nerve cell passing on an impulse, or even a firefly making a flash, changing it from chemical to light energy. That's what ATP is all about. Again, stored energy for use by the cell. And how do we make ATP? Well, that's where respiration comes in. So when we take our sugar or fats, etc., and break those bonds, we release energy, and we use that energy to put a phosphate back on again to make ATP once more. And now we're back to ATP, it's charged up again. And so what we have here is just this constant process of breaking down food, releasing energy to make more ATP. Then the ATP is broken back down to ADP, and then it comes back in again. So again, we start out with our food, we'll say sugar here. The sugar gets broken down, and in the process of being broken down, we take the ADP here, add a phosphate back on to make ATP. Now ATP is all charged up again. The cell can use it for whatever it wants to use it for, something that requires energy. Once that energy is released, and it's being released again by breaking off a phosphate group back to ADP. And so it's this constant process around and around and around. And every second, millions and millions of ATP molecules are being broken down and formed again through the process of respiration. And I think that's about it for this quick little video clip. And this just kind of gets us back into the mindset of what we'll be doing when we get back to class finally, which hopefully will be tomorrow on Thursday.